don't know why. Maybe it's just a delay. There it goes. All right. There's a heck of a delay going. A heck of a delay. All right. Need another box to put a bin or something. Put this ribbon cable in, but I'm dealing with that right now. I have a tablet in here, weighing this down. A whole bunch of little ribbon cable. Without that tablet, it's like $5 of ribbon cable, but a lot of it has gold ends on it, like that. And a lot of it is a lot bigger gold ends, a lot thicker tape for ribbon cable. So it's not much, but I think it's like $1.40 a pound. And I did not by any means expect 4 people to be in here right now already listening to want to ramble on. But next month I'll be going to board sort, so I already have about 300. No, that's way too much. Probably about where that green bin is. Underneath that is all the basic 50 cent a pound boards and stuff like that. And outside is maybe 150, might be pushing 200 pounds of low peripheral boards. These are the better ones. That's going to be a high population, I'm going to guess, so it might be a high-end peripheral board. It's not even peripheral because it doesn't even have any connections. Oh, well, it did. So some of these are going to be questionable. Some of them I just have to pre-sort, and then these ones here have this chip. It's a real small chip. These don't belong in here. I just put them all in here. It's just another peripheral board. If it had like an actual motherboard chip on it for a laptop or something like that, but my understanding is for any of these types of boards, they're going to need to have a RAM slot and a CPU in order to be a motherboard. So, gotta separate those out. And this went to a monitor. One of the I might have another one out there that this came from. So there's a ultrasound repair place, ultrasound machine repair place, right around the corner from me, where most of those 200 pounds of boards have come from. And my old Goldfinger Wi-Fi thing. I have 2 others, newer model and chips and stuff. But I got to go through this stuff and keep it sorted better, so when I go down to board sort, when I make the call, you'll be like, well, I know I have motherboards, I know I have this, and then there's probably 20 plus sticks of RAM in here. Some of these monitors that I get, these flat screen, they have a RAM, they have a RAM card just for memory in order to do everything better, faster, I guess. Not exactly a motherboard. Thought I had one over here. That would be the laptop. I think this is one. Yeah. Oh, actually, that could be a laptop one. I believe I had one. It was not a motherboard, but it had RAM. It had a RAM slot. But either way, I gotta get to this. So, chat right here. But this is stuff that I already have my eBay stuff done for the day. My wife's dropping the tires off to the mechanic, and she, where she started work at today, the mechanic is a mile from her, and she's 15 minutes from here. So she's got to come back. Well, she's going to drop them off tomorrow. I don't think she works, so that's not going to be a problem. But I got a lot of other stuff listed. I listed that Onkyo Integra cassette deck. Parts not working, I might be able. I mean, I'll still get 150 bucks, if not more, for it. A bunch of other little things. There's still all kinds of little things I can do. So I guess these, which are, so there's that little chip. So there's probably 15 of these. And each of those monitors had like 4 circuit boards. Some like this, a bunch of the other ones I already put away. All that gold flashing on these. So that's not gold. That's gold flashing. I mean, that's a highly populated board. Very highly populated. Well, they're going to get it with steel. And gold contact points right there underneath those. I don't remember what this came from. Well, all those points right there are all gold. Gold plate. Those ones are. These ones are. Those ones are. Free stuff. I mean, I don't get the amount of stuff like these bigger scrappers do, but it's all free and it's little enough. Little enough. It's little enough stuff. Candle right there. A lot of these I just took apart, and if they weren't like one of the common boards I was working with or seeing, I just tossed them in here too. But I had a little enough. I think that's a flash. No, a Wi-Fi thing. But that's going to be a gold connector in with a good board, so that'll just go in like that. I'll figure that out in a bit. This is just a really tough board. It's sticky. I don't remember what it went to. This is called iLinks Kintex 7. All that gold flashing on that. Oh, nice. The flux capacitor, yeah, 1.21 gigawatts, brother. We be going places. Like if you could, what would you do? What would the paradoxes be? You go in the. So since you're kind of not too familiar, Ramsey, so that I'm sure you can see the gold gleaming. So that's all gold flashing, gold plating on there. So these boards right here are like $9 a pound. There's not a whole lot here. That's not even an ounce, right? But if you've got a couple pounds of it, and then all the other basic other stuff is $3.25 a pound, and then the cheaper like stuff you're going to find in a very, very common Techniques tuner or your very, very common $15 VCR. All that's going to be like a light green. I can go out there and grab a board, for example, but it's all going to be like light green, practically transparent, like a tan, a light brown. I'm colorblind. That's green. I don't know if that's green or brown. I can tell that's green. That may even be wrong. Hey, how'd you delete a message? So these are SATA hard drive boards. And these I want to say are $11 or $12 a pound in non-SATA, which I believe I have one in here. So the old IDE connector ones. Those are like $23 a pound. So it's going to be a circuit board about the size of this, but it's going to have the IDE connector, the real big connector. They had the pins top, bottom, like 20 across and 40 pins. Those are like $22 a pound. But a lot of these, I mean, they need to be, I need to have the SATA separated and all that other stuff. That's real estate. is the best thing to resell. And gold and precious metals, right? Oh, well, I didn't even know you could even delete something that you type in as a comment on a live stream. That's why I was like, how do you delete that? Not why. I don't care why anybody does the stuff they do. Um, so this is for a hard drive. No, then that would be for the CD. That would be for the optical drive. That's for a hard drive because your little spindle is going to go right here. So these are worth more. They might be worth more than the IC chips are per pound. If the IC chips are worth more, whichever it is, if they're worth more, then you just take a minute and cut those off. And then that goes into a whole container of ICs. And ICs fucking take forever to add up. I would say anything like this size right here, like that little size right there, anything like that and bigger is worthwhile to get. See, that's just the basic board, but it's blue. That's probably why I put it in there. Yeah, feel free. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I did not expect. I mean, I turned around and there was a big delay, and I turn around and I start sorting over here, and I look at the camera to make sure it's not like all angled weird. You can see my hand, right? And I look over, there's 4 people. Like, all right, I'm getting that cool now. 4 people want to come by and say hi. This box will work. So now what I'm going to do is anything. So since that has gold flashing on it, that'll stay out. So since most of the computer ones are going to be, not all of them. So I just want to get all these SATA ones, and I can deal with those at separation later. The SATA are going to be easy. The quick eyeball ones, because they have a hole in it. And then there's more of these with these gold flashing. Yeah, you never know on who. So this was to a GPS, one of the GPS units. So I went down to that where LeBron James is from. Went down to that area, not that area. Well, that area, yes. Actually, his mom's house would have been maybe another mile, roughly. That's going to be further up in the Cascade than either way. But I went there and I talked to a guy who's bought some watches from me, and I've known him for a while, or I've seen him around a lot for decades. And when I went down there not too long ago, I got like 6 or 7 laptops. That's where some of these boards came from. Probably 12 hard drives in between some leftovers in the laptops that were I already got, and loose ones, and regular bigger size hard drives. And 22 GPS units. I just sold a GPS cord for $63. A Magellan, not Magellan, Garmin, something 60, LTM 60 or something like that. $63, and I have one more. But I got, a bunch of stuff. Some pens, some eyeglass frames, and I've already sorted and gone through all the, 300 individual things I got from the guy. But there's a sound outside and in the front. And it's Julianne theory playing in the background. I got so much stuff from him. I listed 4 of maybe the 100 pens that I got from him. Only 4. One is a $100 pen, and the other ones are like $30. Then all the other ones I took apart for like it was 2 pounds 4 ounces or something of brass, or just stuff that got put in brass. So it's like $5 of brass, and then all the junk that was left over is just getting tossed in a shred. So that is a SATA as well, but it's missing the little plastic part. That's another SATA. So SATA boards themselves hold some value as well. So whatever this board is, so we have gold connector ends right here. Some more for this, for the screen. And if this is going to be a high peripheral, and it probably will, it is peripheral, so I think this probably came out of like a router or a gateway or something. All this stuff will stay on here. These ICs will, because the peripheral is worth more than the ICs are. So why would I cut that weight out just to lose that? I was going somewhere with that nice Sony circuit board to one of these monitors. These little Wi-Fi cards, you get a laptops and stuff like that, Wi-Fi adapters. These, I think, are like $9 a pound. So, I mean, you can see it takes a long time. That's a standard SATA board. It takes a while. SATA, 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 SATA. RAM. Oh, yeah, so here's one of those boards I was talking about. So this has RAM on both sides, and this went into some sort of ultrasound machine computer something, right? So these still have chips on it, like these ones right here. They didn't have RAM. This has RAM and a chip, so that would be a motherboard of some sort. And more of these are from GPS units. So this is a SATA with a Molex power adapter. Another SATA, good board. Oh, look at all the holes. Well, you probably can't see them. You can never have enough RAM. Yeah, here's a stick. Here is a stick. I just listed my my old PC. The motherboard is a Asus Prime A320MK. I want to say, and it's a Ryzen 7 3700X or Ryzen 37. No, I don't know if the 7 belongs in there. 3700X. 16 gigs of DDR4 Vengeance XLP or something like that, 3200. A cooler and a Sapphire RX 78 gig. So I just put all that in one lot. I could sell things individually. Just put all in one lot. It's like $300. And then I have more loose RAM, but any of the RAM in here, most of it I can't use. And there's some old, heavy gold RAM. There's some old silver finger. So this is going to be like 90s. And so that's a different price. I think this RAM is like $30 a pound, and the gold finger RAM, this stuff is $54 a pound. Doesn't matter if it's laptop, server, it doesn't matter what kind of RAM it is. If it's RAM and it's silver or gold finger, $54 a pound. There's another motherboard that I took the cooler out before I really knew to keep that on, because you're going to get the same money for it. Another one of those boards. This one had one RAM stick on it. That came from, and this is not an easy to bend board. Ramsey, with your big old spinach arms, Popeye arms, you probably could. But that's a server RAM. But this stuff needs to be kind of sorted. I mean, look at that nice black board, all the gold flashing on it. So when you take electronics apart, your basic stuff is going to add the basic. Let me grab just one of those boards. So you can look at the color. See how this is like a real flimsy, and that's much better built. The color, this is like a weird kind of brown color, and anything that's gonna be lighter than this and flimsy is just a basic board. So I will go in any of those basic boards. I'm only going to get 50 cents a pound, so I will take out anything that's brass. These are steel. Take out any of these little brass pieces. Now I could get the one little dab of silver in there and take those apart, but I mean, we're talking there's almost nothing in there. Not even like a toothpick tip amount of silver in that. And then all these wires on here, this is all going to be steel. But if there's resistors that were coming out that had like this one right here, I would cut that resistor and I would just cut that the longer piece of the wire out. You just kind of tear it down. You try to get your 10 cents more out of the board because you're only going to get 50 pounds for it. But there was a big difference in the quality. Then obviously blue and that black color and orange. This looks orange at least. Looks orange to me. So that, and that's a SATA. But that's just your cheap boards. And then you would, even on some, depending on the size of the transformer, let's see if they were a transformer like this size. Let's see if there was one right here. That's, you just leave that transformer on that board. Because you can get 50 cents a pound that way. And most scrap yards only pay 20 cents a pound for transformers. So get your money out of it. But not all transformers that you scrap will be on a board to where you can do that, right? So you got to make a separate pile of transformers and motors. It's that kind of dumpster diving right there. It gets you this about $15 room in aluminum. I have another one. Ugh. Yeah, if you saw that rim is 22 and a half pounds, and I got two of those. And then the Harley ones I kind of showed a little bit in the in my stream. Ramsey. Oh yes, Ramsey. Eat can of spinach. Well, that was a big marketing ploy back then when Popeye came out. Where either Popeye was out, and then the spinach industry was kind of dwindling a bit. Protein, chocolate protein water. Might as well. I mean, I'm 220 pounds, and I had some rice and lentils and stuff. I'm not vegetarian or vegan by any means. But I was like, I snack on that stuff and eat that because 220 pounds and I eat dinner. That's about it. So I will munch on stuff here and there. So if this box right here, if it was all average $10 a pound, that's a $100 box of boards. But you want to separate the stuff out better so you can get that better pricing. Some of this other stuff, like if you happen to toss in a low peripheral, which is $3.25 a pound, and a 50-cent pound, you're not going to be out much. Like I stripped the aluminum off of some stuff that you can, but I read their comment wrong on regards to it. If anything is attached by screws, any sort of metal is attached by screws, remove it that way. So I mean, I had all these other boards that were like, they just had a bolt, like a soldered bolt in there, and you just ripped the aluminum out. So I went from $3.25 a pound for that aluminum to 50 cents a pound, but there's probably only like 5 pounds of aluminum. But it's still $15 that I just lost right there by doing that because I don't know all the ins and outs about this stuff. But laptop motherboards, I have it. I can bring the bookmark up. I have it to where it's bookmarked. Actually, I'll do that. No, I can't. Well, with this though. And this is what right here, what makes getting work. Well, I mean, it's only 2:30. No, I started this not even a half hour ago. Um, already finished up with like the straightening of stuff up here on the table. Got stuff cleaned up. That's just steel and shred and stuff. The smaller stuff just goes in here. And I just empty it outside. I moved some copper around that I had out. I think. I mean, I don't list much. I think it was 9 that I put up because there was 13. There were 3 that were order cancellations over the weekend that I did those today. Well, I just did sell similar. I won't refund until tomorrow until after payout. Not my problem. You made a mistake. I forget what I was saying. Well, I mean, I didn't list much, but it was just more oddball stuff like Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings, an 8-track lot that I got. I got it at that one flea market down the road like 3 months ago. There's just been sitting in a pile behind Mordolo of Blood on Blu-ray. But I've had that for 6 years. Bookmarks. Bookmarks bar. E-waste. Board sort. All right. Gold finger cards. So it's buried all the way down here. The gold finger card. Oh no. Clean gold fingers. I'm not gonna get all that. Cell phone boards are $20 a pound. High grade non-SATA hard drive board. So that's $20 a pound. Some of these prices changed, it looks like. They did change. Because the price of gold and all that stuff has gone down. It didn't change drastically, but it changed enough. To where all the really good stuff that you want to accrue. So let's see here. So mid-grade board and low-grade board are now different, 50 and 60 cents respectively. A peripheral low grade is $3 a pound instead of $3.25. So at that now, because copper, you could take an IC chip off and break it and get that copper, and you're going to get $4 a pound for that copper. But does that time really? There's not. You could take some coils off, but you're only going to get maybe 20% of a coil that, like I had, something that would be on a circuit board. You're probably only going to recover not even 20% of that in weight is going to be in copper. So you're going to lose all that extra weight just to lose $1. So that's something I have to think. But they did change the prices. I could see that. But anyhow, $3 for low-grade peripheral boards. CD-ROM boards, $8 a pound. They were $9, so I got plenty of those. Gold finger card, no fan, no heat sink, no bracket. That Wi-Fi card. You have to take the heat sink off to get $8.50 a pound. High-grade telecom board. This one right here. That right there, take that steel backing off. The rest, I don't know if I can get the rest of those off. Or if that would interrupt the gold connectors in there. No. Those might come off, but I don't know. But if I don't have to, these boards, high-grade telecom board is $10 a pound. And that's 3 pounds. Right there, if I take that steel out, it's still going to be close to 3 pounds. So that's $30 board. And there was a place I go, they deal with most of theirs, they might toss it, but all this other stuff primarily is just free. It'd be great to have 500 pounds of this stuff. But set that over there for now. Just kind of giving you an idea on what some of these prices are. So Goldfinger RAM, is $50 a pound. Silver tin, so the one with the silver fingers on it is $20 a pound. The price for, we got some CPUs in here, some different types of CPUs. So this type of CPU, no. I think that's black fiber. So this type of CPU is $85 a pound. This double-sided AMD is $330 a pound. And it's like 4 ounces. All right, so I can sell this on eBay for $100. So that is some of the pricing on some of that. I don't think like taking the Muskegon. But so that is a CD or regular SATA, some sort of hard drive or something, right? It's going to be a SATA board. And then I take all these in. I'm like, hey, I don't know exactly. I got most of these separated, some by color, some by this, some by that. So another SATA connector. So any of the SATA connectors are going to be worth more than the gold connectors. So here's RAM Z. So that's a board. I got to cut that IC out. And I can still toss it in as peripheral because it's $3 a pound. So you want to cut that IC out. RAM, SATA, 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 RAM, 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 RAM. SATA. This is a graphics card board. So it's going to be a gold finger card. So that in its entire, I forget what I even said gold finger cards were. $20 a pound. All right, so that's like $10. SATA, where's more RAM? SATA, SATA. So you can just toss a hard drive in the scrap, the aluminum scrap pile, and you'll get maybe 20, 30 cents for it. Another gold finger card. It's an old sound card. So gold finger, you can leave everything on but the ICs. This right here is another gold finger. Well, not gold finger, gold connector. Wi-Fi card, RAM, Wi-Fi card, RAM. Yeah, that's blue, strong board, highly populated. That's gonna be a high-end peripheral, whatever they are, 9, $10 a pound. Wi-Fi, 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 RAM. Yeah, it's just one of those. Sometimes I'm a little nitpicky a bit on, what I'm after, and staying kind of organized. Because I'll probably end up going through these things again for whatever XYZ reason. Some more Wi-Fi. More RAM. Another one of those. Because then when I have to get ready to go down and sell, maybe I'll wait until. So this was a SATA drive. And the plastic is gone. More RAM. SATA. Kind of. SATA. The clip to the SATA. Now, gold connector ends. This might be where this makes a little more sense. Because if gold connector ends are more than the board of the $3, whatever this stuff is, yeah, they pay $1 for a hard drive with board. $1 a pound. So 50 cents. That's about what you'll get at a scrapyard for the aluminum. Ribbon cable is now $1.55. It was like $1.35, $1.40. So that's cut that and get the little gold connectors out of those. Tantalum is $9 a pound. This is stuff in here. A little more on one of these other boards. Tablets, 50 cents a pound. IC chips, $14 a pound. Stuff I have in here. Like that stuff. These things right here. IC chips. $14 a pound. They connector ends. Connector ends are $3.10 a pound. And peripheral low grade is $3 a pound. So I have all the other boards that I have out there with the connector end still on it. It was like $3.35 a pound for connector end and $3.25 for the board. It really doesn't matter that much more. I'm not gonna, even if I were to strip off all the connector ends off the stuff I have off those boards. Peripheral high grade is $5.25. So any of the high grade peripheral, I'll cut the ICs off. And anything high grade telecom, and besides the motherboards, no, motherboard was 16 or IC 16. 15, 14. So non-SATA hard drives, cell phone boards. Aside of that, the ICs come off of everything. Besides the RAM. Because that's $50 a pound. Another SATA. All right, quit talking, Derek. I'm going to make your work longer. It's my work. Let me do it how I want to do it. I can do it. More RAM. More silver RAM. Another motherboard. All right. So we'll put motherboard. They have RAM slots and some sort of CPU. That was a previous CPU slot. No, because that old computer one's up here. This one, I don't remember. So you keep the copper on there, so you get paid a whole lot more for that. Merle Haggard. I don't know. Never really listen to Merle Haggard that much. So for these boards, I have to look back up. Yeah, so the ICs would come off of these. So I might as well completely chop while I'm here. So IC, more setup. ICs were $14 a pound, and then high telecom and non-SATA. ICs come off everything else. Another Wi-Fi. Yeah, I think the the gold and those things, I'll preferably hold on to those much longer. Same thing with the silver. I've got sterling in 2 different places. And this thing here, I don't know if you're still here, but this thing here has all kinds of breaker and switch contacts that have silver on them. So by average, it's going to be like 60, 70% pure silver. You can chemically or crucible separate the silver. But then out of all this, you might end up with like 3 ounces, 4 ounces of silver, so $300. And then the gold, I don't know how to really do it. I've got 10 pounds of copper bars that got big chunks of silver on it. And then another 80 more breakers that I have to break open and get all the wire and copper stuff out. All three. We were out for 2.5 hours on Sunday. And I didn't do a video from when we got back. But we were out for 2.5 hours. And got quite a few things. More breakers, like 4 panels. Some of the circular ones, I have these things. So these I had to take out. I just got to get the socket and get these out, separate those. And that's going to be copper, and then brass, and a little bit of steel. These are going to be, I don't know. A lot of times they're copper, sometimes they can be brass. So that has a yellow tint, and it's kind of malleable. It's easy to kind of file through. That's copper. This is much. No, I can already see that yellow on that. That's copper. And copper is twice as much as brass in some places. The file I found in the trash comes in handy. I didn't really want to process any of these boards down, but when I put them away, I don't want to deal with them anymore. Where are those missing? Come on. I don't need that. I need this. So although that doesn't weigh much, that is not a motherboard. Now some of these actually may be parts for a different type of processor, not necessarily an IC. Yeah, I was doing a whole bunch of real small, like ICs that size, but real thin. Man, that's a big burn. Big burn of time. Life, but there's nobody home. Maybe I'll call, write you a letter. Maybe I'll see or maybe I'm just too blind. Fall down, but there's no. Uh-oh. So there's little ICs on here. I could try to get. Good, 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 good. Around the house. The super sun does light the business. But there's no one home. Maybe I'll write you a letter. Maybe I'll see you on the 4th of July. I'm not too proud, I'm not too sure, and I'm not too proud to say. Yeah, instead of however much I said the boards are, $9 a pound, and ICs are 50% more of that. So good. Now hold on. Is that technically a heat sink? I'll keep that on because it might be just, and there's not a lot of them. So if they say no, you can't sell it like that, then I can just deal with it otherwise. So it took RAM but no. Try to get that as flush as I can, so you're getting a little more money for that little bit of copper wiring. Okay, how about if I do it like that? Blue board. It's not going to be a telecom. It's not going to be a SATA. It's going to be a, I will take there, and if they say something about it, like it's this type of board, that way I can learn. So be it, but I'm getting my $14 IC chip off of it. Then there's those boards down there. So this is going to be a high pop. It's not a telecom board. So I hope you, Ramsey, if you're still here, I hope you got that safety. You think safety is expensive. Wait till you have an accident. You gotta get your tires done. Shop around wherever you can get them cheap. But at least get better tires than ones you have. If they're that bad, but as soon as you need them, get them. Like I said, in Ohio, if your tires are bad and you're not at fault for an accident, and if your tires are bad and having good tires could have been the preventing factor, yeah, that accident can now be your fault or to be a dual fault. Which is just becomes a fault. So most definitely. Most definitely make sure. You keep them inflated, keep your tires inflated properly. I mean, you live around an area where it really doesn't fluctuate too much in temperature a lot. But the biggest difference is basically as soon as it hits 40 and below and it stays that, 40 and below, and then basically spring and above, your temperature, your pressure in your tires are going to change. Now they could change by just a few degrees, but if you don't check them often, when it hits 40 and stays 40 and below, and getting at and staying, and you definitely don't want to have them overinflated when it's really hot outside, because then they can go boom, and then you're rolling your truck, and it's a big truck, and then you're crushing somebody driving a Ford Fiesta because you didn't change your tires. Well, in that case, it would have been overinflated. So these are cold flash boards. More RAM. Nothing cut off those. But Giga tire, if you're still here at that. Oh, well, I started talking to you about tires. Shop around. So you can get that off there. And no brick. That can stay. Because the difference is the price value in the weight of what aluminum it goes for anyhow. You're going to get a little more, so that can stay. This might be SATA. Full connector end. That would be a gold connector end right here, and I can cut that right there. And it was what, 350? I mean, it's a little while until I actually like fully invest a lot of time. These just kind of needed betterly separated. This has that little steel ones right there, damn it, but I can't really get through. Oh, that's an old IDE board. That is not for a hard drive though. That's for an optical drive or something of some sort. So I'll leave everything as much as I can on that. And some of these I just don't know. They're gonna, I mean, they're blue, or they have a lot of gold or bling. No, it's just not a good board. Oh, that's blue. My boy blue. That's gonna go flashing. I'll deal with that one later. That's gonna be bulky. Bulky for Takanos. Another gold board or finger card. That's a peripheral. I mean, it's just a better built card. Gold flashing and whatever that is. I think that went to a GPS. This, I mean, it's not really a connector board. I can cut it right here. It'd be gold connector end. But I just put it in as gold connector end. Go with that. Our little finger card. Don't know. SATA. Don't know. RAM. Oh, that was I think a mouse. A good mouse. Gold flashing board. Pure. Straight up. That is not SATA, but it's just going to be a good board. SATA. Hey. a satellite. A Wi-Fi card. Nice little flashing on that, huh? Our GPS one. SATA, Wi-Fi. Solid copper, these ones. No, that one not. There's a couple of solid copper ones in there, though. I think this is just going to be a basic board. Go flashing. SATA. Oh no. Well, I gotta cut all the ICs off the SATA sometime. Do that for all the others, but not that. Go in there. SATA board. Cut those ICs off sometime. GPS board. Yeah, that might just be too well on there. One of those boards. This one here, it's not a telecom board. It's not a non-SATA either. Or, what are the higher, or, yeah, telecom and non-SATA. I'm not going to fight with the other ones. Motherboard. You can go, oh, I gotta take that thing apart. Found that. This is like some sort of like cabinet little LED thing. When I went to that one in Guild Forge Games, when I saw them that, well, traded, that Warhammer book. It was up in Willoughby Hills. And went in the little dumpster behind that. This is like, it was a catering company. All I had was this and some really, really nasty aluminum. Like cooking aluminum that I wouldn't take. Give me motherboard. What? That's two of them. How did I fucking miss that? couple motherboards. That. Wow. Motherboard. Wow. That's the whole chip. So that's like that. Bunch of CPUs are probably. Let me finish all this. I mean, I don't have a lot more. Um, yeah, that's a display of something. And it's. I mean, it might. I don't think it is a telecom. I mean, it's a telecommunications board by Hypercom. Multiple finger cards. Uh, I'll just keep that one completely separate. At least that's a little neater. I had some anti-static. I mean, not that it matters because they're all going to get scrapped. It doesn't matter about the anti-static. But I watch another channel called History of Simple Things. Some of them are very interesting on the simple things. And they just made a video about the silica gel stuff. Very, very versatile. They can be completely used up, and then you just set it somewhere to dry it up, like in an oven on very, very low temperature or something like that. Outside in the sun, let it evaporate, and the water goes away, and it turns right back to how it was off the start, off the rip. So let's see here. This bag doesn't really weigh too much. $12 ounces. Not even. 9 ounces. I'm halfway, so that's about $25 in rand, not including that silver stuff. So you can see, in order to get a pound, in order to get that $50 range, you need quite a bit more. And I forget, these are like $10, $12 a pound or something. And then all the finger cards. So there are these, and then like memory cards or gold finger cards. These are gold finger cards too, but a whole different category. So the SATA boards, I have to slice the ICs off. There should be another memory card around here somewhere. Another nice gold card. Still have that wire on. Oh well. Those go out to regular stuff. I'll cut that little IC off each of them because the price went down a little. Now, time for some real magic. I need that. Get this ribbon cable sorted. So these gold connector ends are what, $3.10 a pound? So if they're all gold, I couldn't tell you. If it's stuff that they want to sort, they want to take their, just open up one of these small containers and be like, yeah, that's that's good, and or if they want to take a bunch out. Actually, 10, 12 pounds, 30, 40 bucks. USB ends and little connector ends on circuit boards. That oh, these other boards too. So here we have a motherboard. I mean, it's another motherboard, but that could be a high pop board. It's another motherboard. A high peripheral. I mean, a box just isn't going to be big enough. I mean, double-sided, pretty highly populated. And then this motherboard. So that aluminum stay on there. I get a handful of these ICs off them. Some of these I can't. I'm not going to bother with. Those ones I can. That'll just pop right up. This old 1995 motherboard. Well, I'll deal with that later. Thing is that I wanted to get that box kind of more organized. If I do this, actually, that's what the fingers are. I have just the containers for that stuff too. I'm undressing the table. That should work. Where's that marble board? got dropped at one point. All right, what I need to do. So I have these keyboard things in here. Okay, so both of those are wired. So I will count that as one. So I don't see any gold or any yellow on that. Now, what is this going to add up to? A couple bucks. It's all a learning experience for me. See some right there. And you can feel it, it's heavier. So I'll just keep that connected on that board. That's how I got it. Been working on some railroad tracks over there. Yeah, last couple weeks. It's good. I make sure those tracks are how they should be. That one was not. That's why a lot of times you try to just cut these and keep them in the board, but now, I mean, not really out a whole lot if you do that. There's just a wee little bit of weight. You just keep it in the actual wire slot, the connector actually on the board where it came from. It gives me something to do. If not, I'll just be sitting there trying to find 1,001 different things on YouTube to watch. I think I tried getting this foil off, but I couldn't. It just came up as like a wad of something. But just to even try to do that, I mean, that's going to be so much of a fucking burn waste of time to get 3 cents of copper out of it. Not even. There's some pieces that have bigger gold ends on them. So that is what I'm finding and cutting up right now. Right, there's one. I'll count that one since it's already cut. Yeah, I'm gonna have a bunch of those from. I'm gonna probably just toss the whole damn thing. If it's got gold on the end, and not gonna matter because there's just so many other pieces that are gold connector ends in there that are mostly plastic. These being nice, doing it like this over this, huh? That one right there, I'll just toss that one in the hole. Yeah, there we go. So it's not even like copper; it's some sort of like weird plastic. That's one right there. That's another right there. How can I? How can I live without you? I wanna know how do I breathe without you? I'm jamming my lean rhymes. Oh, not now. This is still better than Ezra. This is one more Moida in this town. So there's some more of that. Thought it was like copper. It's not. It's not. It's not. Oh, I see what I did there. I mean, I really don't know. Now, I'm just really thinking, like, is that really going to be worth it to dig in there? And really get all that stuff out of there? I mean, I really don't, for how much there is, from what I'm going to get, it's going to be like fucking 10 cents. You gotta know when to hold him. It's just going to be. Is that you, Bruce? Well, I guess these little things like this from keyboards, I don't know what they go as, but someone said to keep them. Yeah, that was just going to be a whole lot of extra work for almost nothing. So I could probably sell this for more for the aluminum. Probably take it apart and get the board out of it. But it's all glass. It's going to be a problem. But it can at least stay in that box because it's not going anywhere until a while from now anyhow. Oh, get back in here. That's what she said. Yeah, so that was a good idea while it lasted. You know, it's, to me, time-wise, it's like taking apart one of those real small transformers, like a 4-ounce transformer. It's like taking one of those apart. For a hammer mill would come in handy. You end up with plastic, steel, and copper. But for everyone who does not know, I do not have a hammer mill of any kind. I have a hammer, and we might still have a salt mill. But no hammer mill. So I wonder. You take this off, that's steel. Quite a few sirens going up and down. Guess I can work on more of those ICs from that other stuff. Lots of sirens. I mean, the Civic Center is right down the road, but I probably have 4 different vehicles. Then again, the highway there's a highway that way, a little over a mile that way, and a half mile that way. Geographically, a mile and a half south and half a mile north. So, get the battery out of this. It's eons old. That's what memory chips used to look like on the Tandy TRS 80 Model 2000. I had one way when ago. Yeah, these ones in between these PCI slots I can't get. These ones maybe. Yeah, those ones can stay. If you want to get that one. That one's done. I think that's black canaline. I'm gonna look see if there is black. Well, no, because that only canaline, yellow and black SMD. So yeah. So these things on this, I mean, this isn't going to have the canaline. So these are much easier to get. I don't think that was, but oh well. Oh, Bruce. Yeah, oh well for those ones. Any of that on here? I mean, it's a couple ICs I'm just not going to bother with. Fitting time to be playing the band Anti-Flag. There's more. I'm gonna get more. Yeah, that's gonna be a high peripheral. Just because the amount of stuff on it. And no, telecom was like $9 a pound. Good mom. He said a bad word. If there are any ICs under all that, I can't see them. Alright, so let's make sure I can panel them and the ICs off. That's the only stuff that's really worthwhile. That little one's not worth it, but I'm looking at it right now. Motherboard. Finger card. No. This is the for, yeah, this is for the old CD player. Yeah, like those are steel that go through there. So it's just a strong metal. I'm not going to try to slice through it. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Let's see what CPUs are. So that is a chip. But so if it's a black fiber, it's $88 a pound. That may not be it. So green brown fiber, maybe. Yeah. So take the CPU out regardless. If it's embedded, I guess not, but take it out regardless. Um, then the heatsink's going to come out with it. Which that's all fine and dandy, I guess. That CPU, at minimum, they're like $20 a pound. The board is whatever, $7, $8 a pound. $7.75. It's like I perform a little surgery. So thin, I don't know what kind, but it is a CPU. That'll go with CPUs. lost some weight, gained some money. Another unknown. Yeah, those are just way missing AC right there. Man, how do I keep missing these things? It's not. I'm looking for the same thing on each of them. Yeah, I don't think those. That this one or that one is. This one is. If it's a non-removable, we'll just stay in there. I think this is non-removable. Indeed. Okay, good. That one is not removable. Same thing with that. Same thing with that. Old finger card. Another finger card. Old graphics card. I think it was a 480. GTX 480. Can't tell. Those are take off. At least that little part done. Probably stainless. But in the scheme of things, it's not going to matter. Might be brass. They'll dissipate heat. Not on this copper. So if I take it apart, I can leave it like that because I'm going to get 15 to 20 cents for non-clean motors. But if I cut all that out, I'm going to get steel and lose all that. So I'll go like that. Put some wire. RAM and the Wi-Fi cards. How much are the Wi-Fi cards? Goldfinger. they were in here. Oh, bigger laptop cards, $11 a pound. And all the SATA boards, SATA connectors, and a lot of stuff is $10 a pound. So there's nothing good on it. I mean, besides that board. The finger card. Ew. So nothing is the price of, besides high telecom and non-SATA. I don't really have any. Yeah, see? Those are like, because ICs would actually have those little legs on them. Just SATA. SATA. going to start to irritate the arms. There's a bunch more in here. I mean, it'd help if I like flip this blade over. Got to the other side, the blade. I mean, dull tools are dangerous tools. Because I mean, when this is a brand new blade, it'll cut through this solder fiber easily. So I believe all these other ones, I've just done some. Yeah, I mean, most of these look like there's one that looks to be done. Those ones been done. That one really don't matter. Got a couple more CPUs out of it. Whatever kind they are, I mean, those 4-finger kind. I think black fiber, $80 a pound. All right, now about all the excitement for that. Screw that have just fallen down. And that's just right there. All right, that's gonna be it. Appreciate it.